Welcome to the Innate Series, the ultimate resource for chiropractors looking to grow, thrive, and align their practice with purpose. In this week's episode, we have a clip from one of our previous training summits where Dr. Shannon talks about the importance of persistence in chiropractic practice. Let's get started.
I want you to write this down. I want you to live this. Don't ever allow, do not ever allow a temporary setback to become a permanent outcome. Don't ever allow a temporary setback to become a permanent outcome. Your staff going to leave you. They go come and go. Your patients are coming and going. There are going to be days when your children hate you. Your parents are going to pass away. Don't ever let a temporary setback become a permanent outcome for you. So I started with somebody you never heard of, Starship. Let me share with you people who persevered that you know. Anybody in here ever heard of Richard Branson? Richard Branson? Yep. Who's Richard Branson? Virgin Atlantic. I think that's a record deal, and he has cruise ships and airlines, and I think he's like a mogul. I think that's what you call it when you have your hand in many pies. He's a mogul. Very wealthy. Made a lot of people wealthy. You know, Richard Branson, if you've ever used any of his products or sailed on his boats or on his plane, you're doing that because he persevered. Because he's severely dyslexic. So what does a dyslexic person do? They go into business where they're surrounded by numbers all day. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? That's a joke, sure. Doesn't make any sense at all. Richard Branson was persistent. You ever heard of Warren Buffett? What do they call that dude? The Oracle of Omaha? Is he wealthy? Has he brought thousands of people along with him in wealth? I think Berkshire Hathaway stock is like incredibly expensive, right? So people who invested in that are doing quite well. He persevered. See, when he was younger than us and in college, he was so terrified, mortified of public speaking, he dropped out of speech class. He was terrified of speechifying. What if he had succumbed to that? What if he said, oh shucks, I guess that's just not me. He's probably some accountant somewhere nowadays, right? He's still with numbers, but he just don't want to talk to people. He don't want to be in the public eye. I guarantee you all those people that he's made wealthy are grateful that he persevered. And if you look at him now, what's he do for a living? He speaks in front of people. He gives his stockholder report. He's on TV. He's on the news. He's interviewed on radio for newspapers. The majority of his life is speaking in public, and yet terrified of it. Didn't let that deter him. He persevered. How many of you like Robin Williams and his movies and his comedy and that kind of stuff? What's your favorite Robin Williams movie? What's your favorite? Mrs. Doubtfire. That's a good one. Anybody ever remember Robin Williams in Popeye? Yeah, I remember that. My dad took me to that years ago. Okay. Good Will Hunting. That was a good one, wasn't it? If Robin Williams ever brought a smile to your face or a laughter to your spirit, you've benefited from him persevering. Because he was painfully shy and awkward and anxious as a child. You know, if my child says to me, I'm super shy, but I want to be in show business, what's my advice to my kiddo? Hey, sport, I think you need to rethink things here. It's not smart. You're shy. Be an actuary. Work by yourself. You don't like people. That wasn't Robin Williams' fate. Robin Williams said, I feel this calling. I'm going to go after it. Painfully shy. How many of you were nervous as all get out when you gave your first POC? Raise your hand up. All right, so you understand. You've had some experience with it yourself. Now, Robin Williams' brand of stand-up, I don't know if you realize how avant-garde that was. See, most comedians, they hit the stage and they do what's called sets. So they work up jokes and punchlines, right? If you go to open mic night, you see the ones with their cue cards there and they're reading through them. You know, they're just trying to get in the hang of it. Robin Williams took a totally different approach. He hit the stage with nothing prepared. Stream of consciousness, creative, innate. And he just riffed for the whole set with the aid of cocaine. Well, it is what it is. Imagine doing that. Imagine doing your POC and you're... I didn't say do that, I said imagine doing that. Let's pretend Dr. Derek Egan is going to do his POC the first time, and he said he was nervous about it. Let's say we go up there and say, just speak from your heart. You going to do that? Nope. Ain't not a chance he going to do that. That's what Robin Williams did. And if you laughed or you enjoyed any of those movies, or you see them when they play them on TV and you get a chuckle, that scene where he puts his face in the cake, he's like, hello, and the cake strip, that cracks me up every time, man. I love that. I benefit because he persevered. You want to talk about a silly one? How many of you like Kentucky Fried Chicken? Oh yeah, you're not allowed to eat fried foods because we're at a chiropractic. We know the truth. You eating your bucket in the car before you go in the house. I know. Kentucky Fried Chicken's good. Let me tell you something. If you enjoy Kentucky Fried Chicken, you benefited from the Colonel persevering. You know how many jobs that dude had? How many vocations he had? He didn't stumble onto his secret recipe until he was 70-something. 70-something. That's perseverance. That's persistence. Thomas Edison. See those light bulbs up there? That's a different kind of light bulb. It's not the incandescent. How many times did he find something that didn't work? What was the record on that? Was it 10,000? You failed 10,000 times. No, I have found 10,000 ways it won't work. That's persistence. And moving from candles, which were dangerous, to incandescent lights was a real blessing for all of us. See, people are all around us. It's literally all around us every single day. And there's nothing special about those people. Dr. Faye, you got the same in you as they in them. I do too. They weren't given an extra measure of innate. They weren't given an extra measure of Holy Spirit. We got the same stuff that they got. And this is what I want to leave you with. No, actually, I don't want to leave you with that. Yeah, I do. I want to give you two quotes first. I already mentioned Napoleon Hill. Napoleon Hill, quote, patience, persistence, and perspiration. There's that alliteration again. You're going to remember it. Patience, persistence, and perspiration make an unbeatable combination for success. Patience, persistence, perspiration make an unbeatable combination for success. Napoleon Hill. You guys ever heard of a obscure physicist named Albert Einstein? Anybody ever heard of Albert Einstein? I know he's obscure. Yeah. Albert Einstein is thought of as like super smart, right? When you think of Albert Einstein, you think of somebody who's smart. That dude's, he's got brains. He's smart. Albert Einstein, quote, "It's not that I am so smart. It's just that I stay with problems longer." You never heard that before. You don't see that quote hanging on the college dorm wall when they got Einstein on the wall, right? With its, did you guys have that in your dorm too? You got the guy Einstein with his tongue stuck out. I thought that was mandatory for all college dorm rooms. Okay. It's not that I am so smart, it's just that I stay with problems longer. A. Einstein. Now I'll leave you with this. You cannot always control the outcome. You have to accept this. Yeah, I know. Control freaks out there panicking. You just had an anxiety panic attack go through your system. Hankinson, you can't always control the outcomes. There's too many variables in life, especially when you're in relationships with other people, because they get a say so too. Doesn't that suck about people? Like they get a say in the matter? I hate that. Just do what I tell you to do. Can't always control the outcomes. You know what you can control 100% of the time? Your effort. You can't always control the outcomes, but you can always control your effort. And if you're giving persistent effort, you should be praising yourself. Because not everybody does, and not everybody will. That's persistence.
Thank you for joining us on Innate. If you found value in today's episode, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. For more resources, mentorship opportunities, and to connect with our community, visit amcfamily.com. Until next time, stay aligned.